Hello! In this video, I'll be explaining how to remove and replace the two different types of temple arms used on LumaDent frames. To begin, we'll start with the most common type of temple arm, which is also the easiest to replace. This type of temple arm is used on our Clarity, Carbon, Infinity, and Sporty frames. For this, the only tool you'll need is a small screwdriver like the one that came with your Loupes. Simply locate the small screw near the hinge of the temple arms, and unscrew it until you can gently remove it and set it aside. Once the screw is removed, you can simply pull the temple arm out of the hinge. Replacing the temple arm is just as easy. Start by inserting the correct end of the temple arm into the hinge. Once you've done this, you should be able to close the arm so that it's parallel to the lenses. This makes it easier to place the small screw from before back into the hinge. Use your small screwdriver to tighten the screw, and you're finished. Argon frames like these, as well as our classic frames, use a spring hinge in the temple arms, and replacing them requires a few extra steps and tools. You'll need the same small screwdriver as before. You'll also need a small, thin piece of metal, so we recommend using a second screwdriver or even a small unfolded paperclip. Finally, you'll need a dental explorer or similar tool. Removing one of these temple arms is the same as before. Locate the hinge screw and unscrew and remove it. You'll notice this screw is much longer than the ones used on our other temple arms. Then pull the arm from the hinge. To replace the arm, we first need to pull the hinge out and wedge in this space to keep the spring from retracting it. To do this, we thread a dental explorer through the hinge. You can then squeeze the explorer and the temple arm together to pull the hinge out like so. Use one hand to keep pressure on the explorer and the hinge pulled out. Use the other hand to wedge your second screwdriver or paperclip into the small space revealed by pulling the hinge. This step is tricky and it might take a few tries, so be patient with yourself. The goal is to wedge something into the hinge so that once you are no longer applying pressure to the explorer, it remains pried open. You should be able to remove the explorer without whatever is wedged into the hinge coming loose and falling out. At this point, you'll be able to insert the temple arm into the hinge on your Loupes and secure it with the screw from before. Just make sure not to remove the item wedging open the hinge on the arm until after you've tightened the hinge screw.